Friends, I welcome you to my channel. Before listening to this story, I will ask you to like and subscribe. It is not difficult for you, but it is pleasant for me. And we're starting. I've been thinking about this for a while. I was in the top management of my company. My annual salary was in the six figures, and I enjoyed the fruits of many years of hard work and dedication to her. My only problem was my wife, Judy. It will soon be 25 years of our life together. When we met, she was a beautiful girl. Her figure was simply incredible. She was smart, energetic, supportive, loving, and loyal. In short, Judy was the perfect wife. That was then, and that is now. After the birth of two wonderful children and 25 years of marriage, she gained a little weight. Besides, she has become quite boring. Who wants to hear about soap operas and those damn reality shows? I've outgrown Judy in every way. I didn't want to take her to corporate events and dinners. I needed a wife who would be recognized and even envied by other leaders, not pity. I was only a few years away from my 50th birthday, and I needed to prepare for my peak earnings years and then for retirement. I needed a woman I could proudly accompany to dinners and other social events. I needed a woman who understood how difficult my business was and could help me achieve my lofty goals. In short, Judy was holding me back. Most of the other men in the top management of my company left their first wife and married younger women who were more suitable for men of their position and power. It's time to make some difficult decisions. I do not know when this idea actually crystallized. I've been thinking about my options for almost a year. I didn't want to seem like an insensitive, selfish bastard who abandoned his wife, the mother of his children, to find a hot young nymph. I needed to find a way to justify my actions. I needed to look like a victim, not some kind of monster. I had many reasons to be careful. Judy was a great mother to our children, and I didn't want to push them away. Then there was the fact that my aging parents seemed to love Judy more than they loved me. Judy and I had real marital disagreements a few times, and my mother ate a new hole in my ass and stood up for Judy. How can a mother forget who her real child is? Both of my sisters were Judy's best friends, and Judy's brother was my golf partner. He was a great guy, but he was an older brother and always took care of his younger sister. These were some of the things I came across. I realized that the only way to end my marriage while maintaining harmony with my family was to prove that Judy was cheating on me. Once I decided that I had to prove that Judy was having an affair, it followed that it was necessary for it to happen. It was not an easy task. I was sure that she had always been faithful to me. I'd rather bet on peace in Iraq than Judy breaking her marriage vows. Judy was by nature a very devoted and loving woman. At the beginning of our marriage, I noticed how men looked at Judy. She was extremely desirable to any man, unless, of course, he was blind. I needed to protect my interests in relation to my wife. I immediately persuaded Judy to start a family and work to support us. Judy became a wonderful mother, and it was not difficult to persuade her to marry. As the children grew up, I convinced her that they needed her as a full-fledged mother. And even then, she was a beautiful and very desirable woman. Having two children made her even more voluptuous. If I had let Judy get a job, men would have been constantly trying to seduce her. I had no doubt about that. Now the children have grown up. Our daughter graduated from college with a degree in accounting, and our son was in his last year. He has already applied for employment in his engineering specialty. I was very proud of what my children turned out to be and attributed much of their success to Judy's constant attention and love. Our nest was empty, and Judy started to put on weight when the kids graduated from high school and went to college. She was bored and started eating a lot to fill her time. She began to spend more and more time in front of the TV and snacking. She didn't tell me anything, but I'm guessing she's gained 40 or more pounds in 2 years. How could I interest her in having an affair on the side if she was so ashamed of her figure herself? Where could she meet men who might be interested in her? Not in front of the TV. Gradually, my plan took shape. The reasons I kept Judy at home for so many years were the same reasons I was going to push her out into society. Darling, I've noticed that you've been bored at home lately, I began. I think you'd be happier if you found some kind of job. Even a part-time job could bring some interesting experiences and save you from boredom. Jason, you could read minds, Judy chuckled. I've been thinking about getting a job for a while, but I didn't know how to get it across to you. You never wanted me to work outside our house. I was afraid I'd upset you if I got a job somewhere. I just wanted you to be where our kids needed you, Judy. They've grown up and gone, and we need to think about your needs too, I replied calmly. Why don't you start checking websites and ads to look around? To be honest, Jason, I've already done it. I have a few ideas. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but I'm sure I can find something that fits into our schedule. I don't want to steal the time I spend with you. Honey, Judy added. I silently congratulated myself on how cleverly I had sown the seeds. The hardest thing was to be patient so that my plan would work. I knew it could be a year or more before everything came to fruition. I knew it was going to be a long way, but I needed to discipline myself to stay the course. Just 3 days later, Judy broke the news to me over dinner. Jason, I found a position that I like. Judy blurted out, preparing a second chop. Like a dog, I already know that well, Judy. But that's not news unless you've tried it out with the postman, I joked. I thought Judy was going to choke on mashed potatoes as she struggled to breathe. Don't joke while I'm eating. Judy laughed. In fact, it was the guy from UPS delivery, and if he hadn't shown me how it was done, I wouldn't have believed it was even possible. The difficulty is to keep the goat away from the whipped cream and cucumbers, at least before she has to eat them. I considered this answer for a moment, pretending to calculate all the possibilities while Judy looked at my face. You know, I don't really like whipped cream. But you know about my rather strong attraction to goats, I grinned. I'm afraid that the UPS man, although he had good intentions, offered a pose that I have to refuse. Yes, I told him that you love most farm animals too much to feel comfortable in the position he so kindly showed me, Judy nodded. He promised that on the next detour of our neighborhood, he would have honey, carrots, and a Doberman. Dogs don't like sweets and vegetables, so I don't understand how this would work. In the spirit of expanding my horizons of interaction with my husband, I agreed to try his alternatives with him. Good girl. I praised her. That sounds like something I'd be interested in. Am I right in thinking that in this new scenario, I will replace the goat and the Doberman will take my place? So you've done this before? Judy chuckled. Damn, I thought I'd found something new. I expect that we don't have a husband in the neighborhood who hasn't done the old honey, dog carrot trick several times, I replied. Jason, it's so hard to be serious with you. I found a job. Judy laughed. I enrolled in a real estate course next week. Sam Galt of Sam Galt Real Estate is sponsoring me. In a few weeks, I will become a licensed professional in this field. I should have been pleased with the news. Sam Galt was not only the most successful real estate broker in the area, but he was also known everywhere as a real dog. He would probably tear Judy apart like a screen on a door. Somehow, the thought made my stomach clench. I know all about his success with the ladies, Jason. I saw how you frowned when I mentioned his name. You don't have to worry about me. I can take care of myself. Besides, he would never want to fuck an old cow like me. He'd use a snake if he could put its head under a rock. I objected. He wouldn't hesitate to use you or any other cow that comes to his pasture. Judy jumped up, ran into the bedroom, and slammed the door. It occurred to me that I had made a couple of blunders. I kind of agreed with her own assessment that she was a cow, and for some reason I protested against her working with Sam Galt. He fit into my scheme better than any other person in the entire Poconos. I will have to work on my natural tendency to be possessive and on jealousy. Will this bastard use my wife? Or is she too plump for him? Who does he think he is, refusing to use Judy? I realized that I was going crazy and decided it was time to step up the game. I went into the bedroom and found Judy crying with her head buried in the pillow. I sat on the bed and massaged her shoulders. Judy, I'm an idiot. We had a great time, and I foolishly ruined everything. I promise, I will never say that your relationship with Sam Galt is anything less than professional, I confessed. I trust you completely and I will never let you see any form of jealousy on my part again. It doesn't hurt as much as the fact that you agreed that I'm a cow. Judy wailed. I'm just a fat middle-aged housewife. Why am I trying to fool myself by getting a job in the sales department? People don't buy from pigs. I have to settle for something more suitable for an old cow. If this is a problem, let's solve it instead of moaning and howling, I suggested, rubbing Judy's big ass. I'm signing us both up for Silver's gym tomorrow. We'll get in shape together. Would you like to join me and come with me? Judy sobbed into her pillow. I thought I needed to get in shape to find a really hot babe when I'm single again. Judy needed to lose more weight so some guy would want to use her like hell, so it was a win-win situation. I was amazed at how smart I had become. It even made me look like a loving, attentive husband. Honey, I'd love to join you at the gym. In a year, we will be in the best shape of our lives. You'll see. I promised. The next day, I went to the gym, filled out questionnaires, paid my dues, and started working. Judy, being a woman to the core, insisted that we buy special training clothes. We should have looked good while we were sweating and suffering. I was about to object, until it occurred to me that there were a lot of new opportunities in gyms. There will be other males trying to lose weight. Judy will look good. Damn, she was still a very attractive woman, even with the extra pounds. It might work in my favor. While we were shopping, Judy decided that she needed a professional wardrobe for her new career. I thought it was too early to buy clothes for a job that required passing a state exam. This can be a difficult task, but I kept my mouth shut because I had to be a loving and supportive husband to my wife in everything. We could afford it, and besides, if I could prove adultery, I would save more on divorce than clothes cost. It took a couple of days to buy all the accessories. According to Judy, we should be stylish while we suffer. She also changed her food buying habits. I didn't find any more chips in this damn house. For snacks, we had only cauliflower, granola bars, and other rubbish. There was less food, and she always included salads. Judy didn't starve herself or me, but she certainly cut down on her calorie intake. We met at the gym after Judy finished her classes. She told me all about her day when we used the treadmill. I was wondering how she could walk so far and so fast and still talk all the time. I was sweating like a butcher, and from time to time I could only barely nod in agreement. I got up every morning tired and exhausted and wondered if the whole plan was worth the effort. It got a little easier in the second week, so Judy increased the pace and then increased the slope. When we got used to the exercise machines, she added weight to them. She watched me like a hawk, always pushing me to the limit. At first I was offended by this, and then I realized that she was straining herself even more. We spent about an hour and a half in the gym, and Judy worked hard every minute. Then, damn it, Judy started learning French. She decided to learn to read and write French in order to help herself relax from studying manuals on the art of selling real estate. It always seemed to me that beer is a much better alternative to relax. The day has come for the exam. She was very nervous, and I did everything I could to assure her of her readiness. I helped her study, and as a result, I learned a lot about real estate sales myself. I waited in the living room while Judy took the test. And, really, I fell asleep. All the exercises we did increased my endurance, but I found that when I relax, I really relax. Judy woke me up by shaking my shoulder. "Hey, Sonia." She was laughing. "I passed the test." "How do you know? Don't we have to wait for the results by mail?" I asked. "Come out of the Stone Age, Neanderthal," Judy grinned. "Computers are in fashion now." I answered only one question incorrectly. "Sam will be glad to hear about my results." That name again. This time I held back a smile. I knew Judy was watching me closely, and I wondered why the guy from UPS couldn't use her instead of this shit. These guys should be able to seduce housewives. I just thought it was better to cheat with a stranger than with that damn Sam Galt. Then I wondered why it mattered to me. I didn't have an answer to that question. In the end, I told myself that Judy should have fun when she gets lost for the first time. Then I would have put her through hell, told all our relatives about her, and kicked her ass out. I had to admit that my plan wasn't perfect. After a few weeks, Judy had quite a few failures in real estate sales. In fact, she hasn't sold anything yet and hasn't even come close to it. I was afraid that she would give up, come home, and eat bonbons again. If that happened, the UPS guy would be my only hope. We kept going to the gym and eating salads. I began to notice a difference in appearance. My waist had shrunk to a size 34, and my shirts fit me the way they should. My stamina has improved a lot, and several women in my office have noted how much my appearance has improved. I realized that when the time came, I would be able to choose Judy's replacement. I secretly admired myself in our mirror several times a day. I was a man. Today, Sam Galt asked a buyer to sign a contract for one of my ads. Judy was beaming. "When and if it closes, I will receive $5,220. It's not a fortune, but it's a start. I think I've been focusing too much on direct sales, Jason. Listing agents earn easy money. From now on, I will focus on putting up for sale real estate on the internet, she added. This is a great start, Judy, I exclaimed. Do you want to celebrate? Sam taught me not to spend money or even celebrate a sale until I have the check in my hands. Too many things can happen before the deal closes. Sam was extremely attentive and helpful, Judy admitted, and I knew why. He wanted to fuck my wife. He was in the seduction stage of be professional and polite. It will take a couple of months before he gets to the show me your appreciation stage. The guy was a snake. It's a good thing he was an integral part of my brilliant plan. Otherwise, I would have ripped off his balls and shoved them down his throat. True to her word, Judy began posting information about the sale of sidewalks, bushes, buildings, and even farmland in search lists. By the time her first closing of the deal approached, she had 5 more listing contracts coming out and $42,000 to be paid when they were closed. A week before the closing of the first deal, she signed a contract for a farm that she hosted herself. The agreed price was $845,000, and her commission as a listing and selling agent was over $35,000. If she had continued at this pace, her income would have easily exceeded mine in the first full year of her working life. Sam invited us to celebrate on Thursday, Jason. This will be my first closing party, although it looks like there will be a lot more. He takes us to the Powdered Sugar restaurant. He invited the entire sales team, including the secretaries, as well as all the spouses. It will cost him more than I will earn from the sale, but he feels that I have demonstrated that I am worth every penny. Penny concluded. I mean, Judy. That bastard could afford to spend money on extra assholes. I did a quick calculation and came to the conclusion that Judy works for a man who used fortune. I was just hoping that one of the other vendors would be the first to step up to the plate and use Judy before that asshole, Sam, plowed through it. That sounds great, honey. The only problem is that I have to go to Maryland on Thursday evening for an early meeting on Friday. I need to leave at about 9 to get some sleep and be ready for my early meeting, I stated. Jason, you've been so good to me. I appreciate everything you've done and how you've supported me and been so patient over the last few months. I'd be the most selfish bitch on the planet if I complained that you had to leave. I'm just glad you can do it at all, she concluded. It seemed that the stars had come together, and my plan was a heavenly blessing or something like that. If I left Judy at a dinner party in the warm glow of her success, add a few glasses of alcohol here, then she would become a pretty easy target for Sam Galt. Judy would cheat on me, and I would become the wrong party. I wondered why the apparent success of my plan didn't make me happier. On Thursday morning, I packed my overnight bag before going to work. Judy and I agreed to meet at the restaurant as he was on his way to Maryland. I could stay longer if I didn't have to take her home and then drive back down this road to Maryland. I would save more than an hour on the way. I got to the restaurant before Judy did, so I went to the bar and had a drink. I chatted with a few of the vendors Judy worked with while waiting for her to arrive. Everyone congratulated me on my beautiful, resourceful wife. Sam Galt even shook my hand and spent 10 minutes telling me what good qualities my Judy has. He didn't really say anything inappropriate, but I know how a man thinks. Believe me. Finally, Judy entered the room. I wasn't looking in her direction when she came in, but I noticed that there was silence in the room, so I turned around to see what caused it. And I almost took a shit in my pants. Judy was wearing a tight black dress. It was short, very short. The cleavage was amazing and the legs were fantastic. I admired myself in the mirror too much and didn't notice Judy's metamorphosis. Her waist looked tiny, as if she really was a real hourglass. I found it hard to breathe when she glided across the room and kissed me. She soon found herself in the spotlight, and rightly so. She laughed, smiled, joked, and chatted with every man and woman at the party. She practically reigned supreme on it. There were several young women there who received a lot of attention before Judy arrived. They were hardly looked at anymore. I tried not to drink too much so that Judy wouldn't worry about my journey. I stayed sober and watched the bastards swarm around Judy like flies on sugar. It was obvious that many of the men would like to get into Judy's panties, but the big bull, Sam Galt, made it clear that he was the first one here. It's amazing how easy these things are to see when you know what to look for. I was sure that Sam not only knew that I had to leave, but also hoped that I would get my ass out the door soon. Well, darling, I have to hit the road. You look incredible tonight, and I'm proud of you, honey, I said to Judy, kissing her. Don't stay too late, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Thanks a lot, Jason. I'll be careful, don't worry. By the way, that reminds me of something, Jason. The brakes on my car suddenly started screeching, so I dropped her off at Ollie's car service this morning. I think. Don't worry about it, dear, I interrupted. You can get a new one, any color, and do whatever you want with it. See you tomorrow night. As I turned to leave, I saw Sam Galt walk up to Judy and engage her in conversation. He didn't waste any time putting her to bed. All I had to do was wait a couple of hours, go home and find him in our bed. I bought a new digital camera with a good flash so that I could record this event for posterity, my family, Judy's family, and the courts. I drove to a small bar about 5 miles from home and settled down to wait there. I needed to be patient and make sure Sam had enough time to work his way into Judy's bed. Actually, in my bed, when I was drinking beer, I was thinking how well everything had turned out. It was really supernatural. Judy was putty in my hands as I guided her through my convoluted plot. As I suggested, she immediately got a job. Who would have thought that she would find such a profitable one? She went to the gym with me, and I hardly had to encourage her to do it. Who would have thought that a plump woman of those days would appear at a party a few months later in the image of a supermodel? Damn, she'll be better off without me anyway. I was thinking about my next move. In a few months, I'll be a divorced, successful, and pretty handsome guy, and I'll be back on the dating market. How difficult can it be? I just had to be careful not to get caught by a gold digger who would take away everything I had. I've already found an honest, intelligent, sincere woman once. I need to do it again. Judy won't have any problems. She earns well and will be able to take care of herself. She had already lost most of the excess weight she had gained over the years, and she looked great. She was definitely comfortable at the party, chatting with everyone and laughing at their jokes and comments. Judy had a way of making a guy feel special. That's why I've had to watch her so closely all these years. If I hadn't done that, it would have been stolen from me many years ago. I was so right to leave her at home, Mom. It was obvious that now that she was slimmer and working, she was constantly in contact with men who wanted to seduce her. Then a thought occurred to me. How could I protect my new, younger wife from these wolves? I definitely didn't want to create a new family so that she would stay at home. She will have to be at the gym, at work, or at various social events, and I will have to watch her every minute. What if she had a high libido and I couldn't keep up with her? Judy always liked making love to me, or so it seemed to me, but she wasn't the kind of woman who lived only by making love. She lived for her family and for me. Damn, she wouldn't do anything to hurt me or anyone she loved. That's why making love to Judy was so gentle and neat. She wanted to love and be loved, not stupidly make love. That dumb bastard Sam will never understand this. Judy was a lady, and she had to be treated like a lady. I felt uneasy when I thought of Judy with Sam or anyone else. Other men will not understand or appreciate her mood, her humor, her love for family, and her character. She was complete and deserved the best. If that's the case, then why did I try to set up her affair? It dawned on me that the problem was with me. It wasn't Judy. I was getting older and I felt like I was missing something, but I had no idea what it was. Somehow I decided that Judy was holding me back. But from what? How could a beautiful mother and wife hold me back? It was my passing youth. That's what I felt. A younger woman will actually make me feel older, not younger. Will anyone take care of me? My parents, my children, my health like Judy? Heck, I knew the answer to that question. What have I done? I got up and headed for the door, hoping I wouldn't be late. As I drove home, all sorts of thoughts were spinning in my underdeveloped brain. The trip seemed to last forever. What would I do if I found Sam in our bed when I got home? Kill him and throw Judy away? I knew I would never do that. I was more inclined to kill Sam than risk losing Judy, regardless of her actions. Suddenly, I needed her more than ever, and more than ever I needed her. I would advise Sam to leave and ask Judy to forgive me for being such a fool. A grim smile appeared on my lips as I pondered the irony. I was ready to catch my wife sleeping with another man and ask her to forgive me. I just hoped that she didn't have any feelings for this asshole and that it was just making love, as cheating spouses often claim. I was ready to accept it, and I'll be damn glad to hear it. The problem was this. Judy is not one of those who make love without emotional attachment. I was sure of it. I saw an unfamiliar car parked in our driveway, in front of my garage gate, as I was driving down the street. I felt a lump in my throat when I parked next to her. The front door was locked, so I unlocked it carefully and headed for the bedroom. Then I heard it. The voices were coming from the master bedroom. I've royally screwed up. I didn't think about leaving for long, but I realized that this is something that I will have to face and try to fix. Running away from a problem is not going to solve it. When I got to the door, I saw a ray of light coming through the crack. I turned the knob slowly, afraid of what I would find. Taking a deep breath, I pushed open the door and went inside. Judy screamed in surprise when I suddenly appeared. I looked around and saw no one else. Where are the voices coming from? Then I saw that she was wearing headphones, which she uses when listening to her French tapes. She was alone, studying French. What the hell are you doing here, Jason? Judy demanded. You scared me to death. I'm still shaking. Look at how my hands are shaking. You burst through the door like some kind of murderer or a jealous husband, or, Jason, did you expect to find someone with me? The moment of truth has come. What was I supposed to tell her? Sometimes a little lie is better than the truth. Marriage taught me that, except that it's usually about things like garbage collection or cleaning the basement. Was there any way to get out of the mess that I had made or was trying to make? Then I saw a big carrot next to Judy and realized that I would be allowed to go home for free. It was obvious that she hadn't expected any company that night. I'm looking for that damn Doberman. I see a carrot. Does UPS deliver at this time of night? Or were you waiting for someone else? Whose car is that parked in the driveway? Judy blushed like she had never blushed before. I was going to. I've never used it before. Judy blushed. I've missed you, and well, I was very lonely. And I rented the car from Ollie because the brakes on my car are very bad. Judy, you were incredibly beautiful tonight, and I couldn't leave for Maryland. I asked Jack to cover for me at the meeting, and I rushed over to you. You're the best wife a man could ever have, I wailed breathlessly. Tears welled up in my eyes. Jason, you've been so supportive. You inspired me to find a job, helped me prepare for the exam, bought me all kinds of clothes, and helped me lose weight, Judy smiled. I am in debt to you, and I love you very much. In fact, I think I love you more than ever, and that's a lot. Then, if you don't mind, I'll stick this damn carrot out of the place I suspect it was intended for, and then replace it there with something warmer? I asked. That would be great, my dear, but don't forget to add more honey and hurry up. The courier from FedEx may be here any minute. The love of my life laughed.